Okay, hello. I wanna show you how the PDC application is working. So I have installed the application on my laptop. So it should be somewhere here. Yeah, it's PDC. Yeah, the application is now launching. So this is the main start of the application. So here there is a button in white. The other is in still in black, so we cannot use it. It's locked. We start choosing the main selection. We start selecting the main directory. So the main directory would be, for my example here, in under D in so performance data collection, and here on I have assembled all the MP data. I have here just two files, so I start selecting the main. Okay, here is a prompting Windows telling me that if I am sure. Yes, I am sure. Okay, then you see that this button is now enabled. I can use it. It's okay. Our reference is fine. This is the reference to the documentation where the registration are done. I start the PDC. The system now will start reading the files and collecting all the data inside directory, inside data table in the application, so which is the virtual memory. So I ignore the system, we continue. You see that we have here this evolution, if I can say so. It's showing that the system is busy doing something, and is telling me that the data are being loaded. Please wait. It's okay. I'm waiting until the end of the data will be loaded toward the data tables of the application. Okay, now the data are successfully loaded. We want to open the main PDC application. This is the main application for PDC. So I choose the size here on. So you see, so we have here at the left some different choices we can do, and here on we have 4 interfaces or consoles we can talk about in the incoming minutes. So I start choosing the time interval, for example between the 5th of January 2015 and now. Okay, for which STP here I can use Nuremberg STP, which event, as the documentation is talking about. We have 2 events that are very important to show the load for the MPs. And now I start viewing all the registration for the MH current data. So the system extracts for me the following: so counters values, so here on, so those are the counters values. Here are the dates, the timing, and here the MP, the main processor numbers here on, and those are the events. If I choose, for example, for the VPU, you will see that the events are quite different. Let's have a look. Yeah, we have different other events here. If you look onto the technical documentation, you will remark that those counters have some different meanings, So here, for example, in case of the vCPU current data, the counters 2 vCPU valid data 2 and 2 average and max are referring to the charge of the SS7 handling protocol inside the SSNC or the STP, so per node. And if we can go further here, you see that every quarter an hour, so the system is making new registration according to the available MP and according to the selected events here. Okay, we can for sure here use this small window here to just select specific date between the range of available dates, and here we have to use the last button, view selected dates, and you see that the system so only showing the results according to the choose date, which is now the 29th of June 2013. Okay, here for example for that STP Nuremberg we have 51,000 events. If we can have a look to the inside the file here on which events we are talking about. So for example, if I choose the hour 3 for the collected registration by the 29 June, and for the STP Nuremberg we have here, this is the file for Nuremberg. You see that we have 4 files per hour because the registration is done every 15 minutes. If we open the file, you will see how complicated is this file, so to be really read directly. So the program or the tool we have made is to really to extract all those data. For example, for the last event vCPU current data, so we are reading for MP3 those 26 counters from 0 to 25, and each counter here will refer in our tool to a given column here on. So those are the results. So okay, we can go further within the interface. If I wanna see how some statistics related to the MP, I just load the data. You see that you remark that the data are loaded according to the selection from the beginning here on. Okay, maybe if I choose another date, wait a little bit. So okay, so let me just look at something. We are still in Nuremberg, and we can choose, for example, another view or registration, and I make my load. Yeah, okay, the data are coming now for the 26 and for the 29. If I wanna just see the results for the 29, no. So this interface is making me see all the available dates in the first from the beginning of the registration. Okay, we have here on for the MP statistics 3 main what we call grid views. Okay, for a given event, for example here the message handler current data, those columns will refer to the daily average per counter per MP. So per MP per date we have different counters. Okay, but each counter is incremented each 15 minutes normally. But here on in this board we have collected per MP per date the average of all the collected data per counter. Okay, we still have to see another interface or two other let's say tables here on. So for this table, so the difference is that you remark that we have something which is printed in yellow. This is just to identify the MP which is performing global title. So for example, in this case here we have the global title MP list for the STP Nuremberg exchange. Okay, so technically those results are coming from the message handler current data event and counters. So this is the charge for the message handling. For example, on the 26th of June, the MP number 7, which is here on, this is not a global title translation MP or an MP that is not involved in the global title translation, but is performing some stuff within the SS7 message handling, still making some message handling. This is the load. Okay, at midnight. Okay, his load registered at midnight. So and here on you see that the counters related to the global title translation for that MP are set to 0, so the MP is not really making any number 7 analysis or traffic or whatever. So yeah, if I can have a look to another MP which is performing a number 7 signaling, global title translation, so I have to go to look for allow MP. Let me just see. Okay, so here on I can do a reset, load again. Yeah, okay, for the 24 here, well, the MP24 is involved in global title translation, and he is having some load at midnight. For example, this is its load at midnight. The 24 is already which is already making global title translation as MP, okay, is already having some normal number 7 load for message handling, which is a normal task. So for message handling, so an MP who is making global title translation so should have some results for the message handling. Okay, but now if we wanna focus on the global title translation load, this comes the interface GTT load analysis. So we have here classified all our STPs. If I click or choose select an MP, so some dates are coming. For example, if I choose the registration date 26/6 and I load the global title translation result, I have two tables here on. For the STP Nuremberg per MP, so those are the data allocated so totally to the registration for global title translation for the MPs of the STP Nuremberg. Here on, in the first table here on, we have made some further exercise. So here, for example, per counter, we wanna identify the minimum value of this counter related to any of the MPs of the selected STP. This means that, for example, for the STP Nuremberg, the MP24, okay, main processor 24, has encountered for this event, okay, which is an event for global title translation, average load, the minimum value of 42 Erlang, okay, and this happened at 4 of the morning. The maximum value of this counter is 315, happened the evening 16:15, and so on for the other counters and so on. The last interface I want to talk about is the graph view, and the graphical view will be dispatching all the results according to the daily view. For example, here we have chosen both events we are looking for. If I look forward the global title translation load, for example, here, so the GTT load here on, for example, for Nuremberg, those are the list of the MPs of Nuremberg. If I choose the MP number 10, for example, I can load the graph for the MP10, which is showing the global title translation load for the day of the 26/6, okay, which is the first day in the selection list here. But we still can see what happens for this MP load in the next day of the registration, which is the 29th on, and you see here the distribution of the traffic load according to the MP10 in the STP Nuremberg for global title translation for along the day. So I wish I was clear within the explanation. See you.